As I said, you're at the Engagement Theatre. I'm Cecilia. I'm from InEvent. We sponsor this stage here. And we're leaving the best to the last, aren't we, Adam?
We are.
We are.
My favourite part of the show.
Yeah. So without further ado, first of all, huge congratulations to you and the team on the first Event Tech Live Las Vegas. Woo! It's been amazing, Adam. Well done. And now we're here for the final of the Launchpad competition. So over to you, Adam.
Thank you. So the Launchpad competition in London has actually lasted, thank you, Will, has been in existence for 10 years. And this is our inaugural edition for the Las Vegas show. Congratulations to everybody that was part of the final, and congratulations to the 3 final finalists who we'll hear from in just a little bit. The format of this pitch competition will be as follows. Each finalist will get an opportunity to pitch for 5 minutes using either presentation, slides, video, whatever, or just speaking from the heart. We'll then have an opportunity to ask questions. I'm going to invite questions from the judges, but if you as the audience, if you also have a question you'd like to throw out there, then we're more than happy to hear that. Once all 3 finalists have pitched, the judges, who I would like also to say thank you and give a round of applause to, have given up their time, and their job, not only to ask you questions, will be to decide who places in first, second, and third place. At this stage, all the finalists are winners of the Launchpad competition. They will all be receiving from Event Industry News an advertising and marketing campaign package with a value of 5, 3, and 2K to be spent however they wish to help market the business. Dalia Elgazar will be imparting her wisdom on you at some point to help you with market growth strategy, sales and marketing. And Vibhav, the CEO of Hubilo, has also offered to do a couple of hours worth of consultancy and call with you on market penetration, growth, and things like that as well, as we all know how quickly Hubilo has grown. So I would like to invite Benjamin up, who is our first finalist from CapTag.
Yeah. Oh, do you hear me well? It's all good? So let me just get my presentation up and my notes, please. So good afternoon, everybody. I'm very happy to be here and very pleased to participate to this huge event as ETL. First of all, I will just ask you if we can get another round of applause for all the team members of the ETL. So, because they are doing a very, very good job these 2 last days. So now let's introduce myself a little bit. My name is Ben. I'm 26 years old right now. And if you did not notice it already, I'm not from the US or the UK, but I'm from France due to my accent. I just moved here in Las Vegas just 2 weeks ago to open the subsidiary of my company, CapTag. Our company helps event organizers to save time and money by creating maximum efficiency services for the event logistics. We've been in the industry for 10 years, such as the ETL, but we are here in the US for only 3 weeks. So we are starting the business here just this month. We've been producing more than 2,000 events throughout the Europe and the France. And yes, now we are attacking the big part and the big US market. Regarding the logistics of an event, if you ever been to one or if you ever organize one, you know that maybe getting in the event is complicated, checking in is sometimes complicated, going through the journey of the event is sometimes complicated. All these things are a waste of time sometimes. So I think it's the right moment for me to present you our brand new product, which is Badgie. Badgie is a connected badge for events, and it gives your attendees, how can I say that, an automatic green light to go in the event, to go to the workshop you signed up for, and to exchange contactless business card as well during the event. What is the added value of our products? There is 4 main things. The first one, so first it's create efficiency. It gives your attendees a smooth and trouble-free experiences. No more business card, no more phone battery, low battery phone, sorry. No more Wi-Fi issues. 2, it reduces the costs for the events in space and in staff and equipment. No more printer. You will need less staff for the checking, less staff for checking the people at the entrance of your events. So basically, you will be saving money even before the event starts. 3, it increases the securities because only the people with this badge got that green light. And last but not least, it gives you a complete data for both the event organizer and the participants. And yes, for both the event participant and the event organizer. And then they can make the most of the event dollars out of the events. So yeah, if you have any question, I will be pleased to answer to them. Thank you very much.
Cost. What does the badge cost look like per attendee?
Per attendee is depend of the size of your events. For less than 1,000 attendees, if you take all the features, so the advanced networking, the automatic access and the checking and the live voting, it will be something between $12 and $15 per attendees.
So is that your cost or the cost that you charge the organizer?
This is the cost I charge the organizer.
And what is your cost?
My cost, we are, I don't know if I can answer to that question.
So, what if, how many events have you done with this thing?
The first event we've done with this technology was in France last July. It was like, the test event. And since then, we officially launched the product on January. And we already done like 3 or 4 events in France with the badge. And one event have been like for multiple events during a month. It's called like the OBS. It's an event for a French company. And every one of the events have been like a complete wrap. So yeah.
And like, what are the incidents in this case? Like, do people take this home or do they have to return it?
They have to return it at the end of the event. And we make sure that the people do that. The thing that we are trying to do is we are trying to do corporate events, because in a corporate organization, the people are part of the same team. And then if someone go out with the badge, there is a manager or there is someone that can reach him out by email or by phone and say, hey, you just, bring back the badge at the office on Monday morning. And this is why you are aiming this kind of clients.
Advanced networking.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Sorry?
It's I listed advanced networking.
Yeah.
What are the features?
The features there, like you can seamlessly just exchange your business card with the badge. No, you just do that, and then you receive in your web application, because we are also web application provider. So everything is white labeling, and in your phone you can get your contacts. You can schedule a meeting with him. You can have more information, and you have his photos, because I don't know if it's something that happens to you sometimes, but I have maybe 50 business cards in my log actually, and sometimes it's who is it, And then with this application, you can always remember who you've met.
Benjamin, I have one question for you. Do you ever see this as being potential to be a consumer level product? Could I own one of those and take it with me?
I think in the future it could be a great option, but for now we are still, uploading a lot of features week after week. We are still in the roadmap for some, the live voting, for example, or for other features. So once the product will be completely up to date, and finally, with all the features that we want, maybe we will be able to sell it to the customer.
We have a round of applause to Benjamin, please.
Thank you.
Okay.
No, it's okay.
You just say that, and you get to that what?
Okay. All right. Can you guys hear me okay? All right. Then we will proceed right away. My name is Rusty Williams. I'm with AnswerStage. And the best place to start with a story of AnswerStage is our starting point as a company. And that is the realization that your most valuable marketing assets are the people who attend your events. Those are the exhibitors, the speakers, the attendees, the people who are enthusiastic about coming to your event and being part of it. I'm skipping forward too much here, but I should point out that's not something that just came as a bolt out of the blue. It's not an epiphany that we had randomly. The management team, the founding team of AnswerStage has a long track record, many years of working in social media and building online communities. In fact, with major brands such as Martha Stewart, Major League Baseball, NASCAR, even in the UK with Tesco. So we became fans of and dedicated to and confident in user-generated content as a key way of doing marketing and building online communities. With that, we've now fast-forwarded to a world that's very distracted, very short attention spans, and we know that we need to come up with a better way, a more compelling way to reach those people and feature those people. And the answer is video. So with that sort of realization and that opportunity that we see, the challenge is how do you make a platform that scales video, not from just a few to hundreds of videos, and do that in the most automated, the most intuitive process that you can come up with. So that's our challenge. That's a business challenge we're coming up with. That's the problem we're trying to solve, is how do we streamline that and make that as efficient and cost-effective as possible. The first thing we did was not related to technology. It was actually, what's the best format for that interaction? How do we actually get people to feel comfortable responding to, and how do you build kind of an editorial strategy and theory around the collection of that content? And what we turn to is exactly what we're doing here today, is a Q&A format. So we send out a question, makes it easy to respond. And so everything is built, and that's where the name came from, around the Q&A format. With that, we move into technology. And with technology, we're like, how do we streamline those processes? And the two key roles, the two key people that we're trying to address, our audiences, are contributors, people who are responding to those videos, who are creating those videos, the speakers, the exhibitors, the attendees. We want to make that as friction-free as possible. No app, no downloads, no registration, as minimal time as possible. So it can be done anywhere at any time, super easy. We also think about how do we reduce the anxiety of actually creating videos. So we have the option to do voice only. We have an AI-assisted prompting system where you get speaking points to help you if you have a brain freeze and you want to just load your brain with some ideas. The second track we think about is the producers, our clients, the people who are creating these videos. We have a process where you can set up your branding one time, and that creates the video theme and the landing page theme, what the people who are responding to the questions see. So everything is branded, consistent with your event. Then you enter questions and you send those out to people. Again, we've implemented a layer of AI there. So if you, as an event organizer, have any trouble with that, you can actually look for and find suggestions related to your event that are good, editorially relevant questions. Once you start getting responses, you quickly review them. You click a button, they're produced automatically, and then they're able to be shared anywhere, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever it might be, and you end up with, again, benefiting from the connections of the people who are part of your event. And finally, we built a ton of technology. And so our final observation is we are not alone in this world, not building something that's meant to be just a standalone system. We are looking at and pursuing integrations through APIs and other things where people might have information about speakers, they might have information about exhibitors, and then they have the branding information already loaded. We are pursuing partnerships where we can actually ingest that, turn that into a branded video, then push that back out so it's part of, again, a broader ecosystem. So that's the summary of AnswerStage. Thank you.
Do we ask the questions to this? That's all I said.
Rusty, thank you.
Thanks.
What's the data analytics like?
So right now, I'm going to give you an honest answer. We do not give you a lot of data analytics because what we end up with is an MP4 file or a link that you can share on Twitter. Once it's out in the world, we don't get a lot of tracking information. So we can give you analytics about who answered what, when, about your speakers, So we have a report about that, how long their answer was, when they answered it, who they are. So we have the kind of incoming data, but the outgoing data is not something we have a lot of information about.
What makes you better than gather voices or vocal video?
That's a good question. I think automation. We really have thought about how do we make this super quick on the front end and the collection process. More importantly, everything that's happening up in the cloud is done with advanced math and the things are saying, what's the speaker's name? What's the logo? How should that animate in? How big is that? How long is that? And that's all done automatically so that those variables are taken into account when the video is produced.
Who receives the link instructions to start recording? Like, is there different segments? Or is it all aimed at the same?
It is up to you. So we can take one question. So the question is, who receives those links? You can take one question and send it to per person, so it could be personalized, or you could take a group of questions, what we call an interview, and send that out to hundreds of people and say, pick one or two to answer. It's up to you how you want to group them and how you want to target them. They're just links that you would send based on what editorially you want to be able to collect.
And then the organization itself then has access to those files.
Exactly. So we are a platform where you end up with an MP4 file that you can put in your own video management system. You can share it directly or whatever you want. It's your asset.
Thank you.
And finally, Andrew.
Thank you, Bisbo, for the paper to make my notes on. All right, so thanks for having us here. We're really excited to be presenting. So one of the reasons that I came over to Session Board, so I was at Freeman about 1.5 years ago, and I talked to Chris Carver, and we talked a little bit about some problems in the industry and some things that could possibly be solved. One of them is really the time spent collecting content. So whenever we log on to LinkedIn every morning, we see influencers, we see friends in our industry talking about content, but nobody ever really talks about how to collect that content. And frankly, for a long time, people have just been utilizing things like Box, their email, Dropbox, Smart Sheets, and it hasn't been effective. It hasn't been efficient for the speakers. It hasn't been efficient for the managers. So we created Session Board in order to solve that problem. What Session Board does is allow you to do call for papers, import your speakers, really allow you to take in all the data from all the speakers that you want. And you can customize all of the data, configure the platform based off of your show. So it's extremely scalable. We do some small state associations. We do large, gigantic trade shows and events. So we really scale. We have events that have 10 speakers. We have events that have 2,000. So it's really scalable product, allows us to take in all that data. Now, for some of our association clients, they do a large bit of evaluation processes and going through and making sure that they're getting the right content for their event. So we allow them to do evaluations, take those scores, and then make the decisions on who's going to be accepted and who's going to be declined, who's going to come into their show. And that's really where the fun starts, because from there, we're able to create portals for all these speakers to where they can upload their content, their headshot, their files, anything that you need from them, they can upload that to you. So creating a speaker portal, a one-stop shop where they don't have to be emailing you all the time, where you don't have to be hounding them, calling them all the time, asking them for new assets. We actually just released a case study from whenever we were working with another trade show. It might be a competitor, so I'll save that, but they were saving 3 to 4 hours per speaker during this process. And if you even have 20 speakers, think about that time saved and what you can get back in that. So in addition to that, we are able to integrate with a lot of different companies. We have an open API, some great integration partnerships. I see some of our friends here today, and I appreciate y'all being here. But we are hyper focused on the ability to collect content for your speakers and allow you to take that and focus on your own in-person event and become attendee facing. So I know I am very quick with this. I have a very quick product, so I'm happy to answer any questions from anybody in the crowd and talk through that. One of the other parts, one last thing I would say, our agenda building process with our user interface is really, really great. You're able to drag and drop, build out your full agenda, and it helps you get ready for the show, right? And you can click into it, add additional speakers, help your speakers, and communicate with your speakers, not only through email, but through text message as well. So collecting all your assets, focusing on heading on site and doing all the other great stuff that event organizers need to do as they prepare for their events.
Thank you, Andrew.
I'm just got a question for myself. One of the things that, as a speaker, I get asked for constantly is bio, headshot, background, videos, content, clips, all that kind of stuff. I do that, but I want a place that I can centralize quick session. I get to a place to help speakers manage that content and get that out. Efficient management. As a speakers themselves spend a lot of time.
No, so it's a really great question. So as we're continuing to develop the product, and like I said, we're hyper-focused on this one particular side of the event, when organizations generally have these same speakers year over year, or sometimes even biannually, however often, we're creating speaker profiles that can live on from event to event. So not necessarily as a speaker, you wouldn't show up to any event and say, here you go. But from event to event, if you're speaking within the same organization, you have a lot of that same stuff. And as we all kind of lose our hair, maybe we want to keep that old headshot, but we can do whatever, but you would have that opportunity to continue to update and have it last event to event.
3 questions in digits.
Right. So I have a little bit of experience in a previous company, kind of the festival space, if I know correctly, right?
I'm sorry.
You had like previous experience creating technologies for like festivals and everything like that past. What'd you learn from that you are?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a great question. One that Chris Carver should be here to answer, as he is more in the festival side. And my background came from, I worked at a registration company, then I went to Freeman, then I've been at Session Board. So it's been a conference management as far as I've been here. But I will add, a lot of the same asset management is needed within festivals and sports events as are in our industry. So there was a natural crossover. Like when you think about the assets that you need from your, if you're going to New Orleans Jazz Fest, which is a Lend client, so they need the same things that speakers do, right? So it's a lot of the same stuff. It is a new interface, a different interface than Lend, but it is kind of the same principles of collecting and managing and saving time for the organizers.
So how big do you think is the market for this?
I mean, any event that has over 20 speakers, we've found has been really an opportunity for us. There are a lot of all-in-one platforms that try to add everything into this. I would say that they are not hitting it with the hyper focus that we are, and we've been able to become an addition to those groups rather than just like a competitor because of our integration and our willingness to integrate. So we see the market as really large, especially in association.
We go back. We the back sides of this is this. Or the everything.
So I don't necessarily have a number that I utilize or I feel comfortable giving you right now. I could just tell you that we have an incredible amount of momentum where every time I sat at that hosted buyer desk all week and I talked to the hosted buyers that were here, it became of interest. So as we travel the country and travel the trade show docket, every time we do that, we pick up more momentum, we pick up more clients, and as we're marketing more and more and getting our word out, it's been extremely effective, and we're seeing a large appetite for this.
Just one last question. How would you like music? Like we use any AI? Because this is a bigger content management system for 109 speakers.
It's a great question, and it's a common question. So we do have some stuff in the hopper. I can't talk too much about it, but we do have some AI plans for the future.
So post event, do you offer anything for your clients that is consultative or relationship or added value at that stage?
Yeah, no, I really love that. I know I say that's a good question, but they've all been good questions. I like that because it's where we're headed. At the moment, we're mostly pre-event and getting everything to show site and then repeating that process over and over. How do we improve that? Adding things like post-event surveys on these speakers. This particular speaker hit really well on this particular track. Let's use that over here. So not at the very moment, but it's something that we're definitely looking forward to.
Round of applause for Andrew, please. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around. I'm quite impressed, actually. The judges made their decision in less than 5 minutes. These guys would stay there all day. I will say, unfortunately, I've not got the award to hand to either of you because they got lost in transit. They're somewhere across the Atlantic. So Kizzy on our team is going to work on getting those to you individually. I'm not going to start from third to second to try and make it suspenseful. I'm just going to go straight in with who's coming first place, and I'm proud to... I'm happy to say Captag, first place. Yes, first place. Handshake.
Yeah. Yeah, take a picture, man.
Those are guys.
Yeah, amazing. Wow.
Okay.
Crazy.
You got it?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Do I have to say or?
You can stay there.
Yeah,
Okay.
nice.
In second place, we have session board. Congratulations, dude.
Thank you very much.
You got it, Fiona? And in third place, but not
Congrats.
least, Rusty.
Awesome. Thanks. You do the left-handed thing?
Yeah, we did left-handed thing. I'm not the president. And to the judges, can we give the judges another round of applause, please?